Daily last week, and myself the week before that, to the Social Welfare and Pensions Bill 2014 when that was being debated, and that's in relation to this dispute in Greyhound out in Clondalkin. Following the decision from the High Court on Tuesday, the situation there now is that is an official lockout of 70 workers from the Greyhound depot. Household waste across Dublin City provided by a company which has locked out its workforce and is now operating a service with scab labour. At a meeting between reps of workers involved and NERA held on Monday of this week, which was facilitated by the Taoiseach, very serious questions were raised concerning this company. There are very serious health and safety issues. It is alleged that there is zero maintenance of the fleet of bin trucks. It's a matter of concern for both the Gardaí and the RSA, the Road Safety Authority. There are serious health and safety issues concerning the employment of casual labour without proper training and safety procedures and the correct protective clothing. Bin trucks are dangerous piece of machinery, and the handling of waste can involve hazardous materials. These are issues which are all extremely concerned in relation to NERA. They've raised that these are extremely serious issues they have been dealing with, and both the Garda, as I said, and the RSA have been involved. Greyhound has been brought to court by the EPA on a number of occasions and fined for breaks in the law relating to protection of the environment. These issues here relate to the consequences of the privatisation of bin services across the state. So, Minister, I want to raise with you, local authorities have effectively washed their hands of the service. In reality, there is no effective oversight and regulation over a private waste collection sector that has a deplorable record of illegal dumping and breaking environmental regulations down through the years. There is a race to the bottom taking place among various companies. This will mean increased casualisation of the workforce, minimum wage rates, poor training and health and safety procedures, dangerous vehicles operating in built-up areas, outsourcing of routes, expanding routes, with workers being collected from woodies by these particular outsourcing groups. And somewhere along the line there would be very serious injury and deaths.
Question, please. Thank you.
Minister, I think this has to be looked at in a wholesome way, because at the moment
Sorry, Deputy, we're over time. Would you just put your question?
The RSA, the HSA, the Gardaí, the local authorities and the unions are all separate entities. And I'm asking the Minister to consider seriously, and I'd like a reply, and a positive reply, to set up a task force, either from the Environmental Committee with an independent chair, to look at the whole industry. Because there are serious problems. I mean, there's soprano-style operations going on here, and it has to be addressed. And I hope the Minister will respond.
Thank you. Minister.
Well, Cornelia, the little I know about this industry, I tend to agree with the Deputy. It's a tough industry, and there's no doubt about that. I mean, the particular issues here that Taoiseach undertook the last day to ask NERA to intrude in terms of assessing some of the claims that had been made in the House here. I don't know, Deputy, what the outcome of that is. But if they are, as you say, it is a serious matter. It is a matter that I would have hoped would have been capable of being resolved by resort to the conciliation machinery of the state, which is normally the case and which normally has a very high rate of settlement, no matter what kind of dispute is afoot. I hear what the Deputy is saying about the wider issue of the industry itself being required to be examined, and I'd be very happy to talk to my colleague, Minister Richard Bruton, about that.
Thanks, Minister. Kim Corlin, the report on Monday to NERA, they have said that they can take up some of the issues, but they can't take up all the issues. And that's why I'm raising here in the Dáil today that there is a need to have an overall view of the waste industry. It's highly unregulated, from the reports we're getting, as I said, it's nearly a snake pit from the point of view of how workers are being treated. I mean, 70 workers were told last on the 17th of June that unless they signed a contract reducing their wages by 30%, that they had to go home, and they were picking up workers from woodies to bring in, give them 15 minutes training and put out in the routes. A lot of people know that they had reports, I'm sure, in constituencies, and that they're getting reports that Greyhound bin trucks are collecting waste at 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, even 1 o'clock in the morning. And these seemingly are the workers that are being picked up at woodies by these subcontractors. So this is just unbelievable what's going on, and permanent workers with decent paying conditions are being locked out of their workplace. So I'm appealing, and I really would ask the Cabinet to raise this issue and look at setting up some sort of independent investigation task force into the whole industry, and also the whole thing about the waste incinerated and Ringsend, the Covantis deal, everything like that, because it's all linked. I think it has to be all looked at in a whole.
Thank you. Minister.
Well, Ken Corley, I entirely accept the Deputy's bona fides in this matter. I have not seen any report from NERA, and I would like to see precisely what conclusions they have come to. It is not desirable for any category of workers to be required to work in the circumstances that she describes. I have to say I'm very old-fashioned about it myself. I preferred the situation where refuse was collected in this country by direct labour and the local authorities. Unfortunately, the campaign against the refuse charges drove it towards privatisation, and some of the companies operate a very tough regime, Ken Corley. But the issues raised by Deputy Joan Collins do warrant further study, and I will be very glad to sit down with the Minister with responsibility, Richard Bruton, and press these issues with him.
Thank you.